So I'm talking to guys, ladies, you know.
For young, ambitious men?
Yes, and you look like a young, ambitious man yourself.
I'm a young man. I don't know how.
I'm telling you, bro. Nah, it's no problem. I just want to hear your experience, what you've been through. Of course, bro. What is your name? What is your name, by the way, before we get into it? Adam, nice to meet you, Adam. I am Ali. Okay.
Ollie,
Yeah.
nice to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you as well.
It's so hot outside.
So I'm guessing because you're trying to take your lady home, you live in DC. Is that correct?
No, we live in across the water in Virginia.
Okay.
Fairfax, Virginia.
Okay, got
you need a passport to get there.
Oh, for real, bro? Or you just joking me. Okay, so are you just in DC to hang out, to chill? Is that what you're doing here?
Yeah, we just went to dinner not too far down the street. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we used to live here.
Oh, okay, got you. So what made you decide to move away? Because I was going to actually ask, like, if you were in this area, what would you recommend for men, like, coming here? Would you say this is a great place for a lot of opportunities, for jobs and stuff like that?
All right. Yeah, but I'm in software sales. So that is something you can do remote anywhere you want to go.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're into the whole politics thing, if you're into the whole, that scene, then yeah.
It'd be a great place.
I mean, I'm sure. Yeah. Are you not from here? Are you from here?
No. So I live in like Silver Spring area. So I've lived here like all my life, kind of. Yeah.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Sherwood.
I went to BCC.
Oh man. I mean, we played y'all in soccer. We busted your ass in soccer, but that's it.
You probably crushed us in sports.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, spinning things back though, I actually wanted to talk a little bit about your career though there too, because I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Because I think a lot of guys that be watching me would want to get into like software and stuff like that. So can you like tell me a little bit about your experience with that? Are you early in your career? Are you late? Like, where are you at right now?
That's a good question. I'm probably in the middle somewhere. Typically in sales, you're going to start off as like, you'd call it business development. You book meetings for guys who close deals, and now I'm lucky enough to be one of the guys who closes the deals. So, I mean, software sales, get after it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of money to be made, and you don't have to do politics, which is not my bag. So I don't, I know a lot of people here it is, but I'd say software is better.
Okay. So,
I'm biased.
In your experience for like rising up the sales ladder, like I saw that you said that, okay, you're basically booking meals or deals or booking appointments for guys that already can sell.
Used to.
Yeah. Okay. So would you say that would you watch their sales to get better, or what did you do to basically rise the ladder in software sales?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's like cliche advice, but you sort of want to, as much as you can, do the job that you don't have or the one that you want.
Yeah.
So if you want to be a manager, you should probably try and manage people or like be involved in the team and strategize and come up with ideas and like, drink the company Kool-Aid a little bit if you want to do that.
Yes.
But for me, I think you're exactly right. You listen to the people who are better than you. And I mean, if you're a basketball player, you watch Kobe shoot, right? Or you see how he approaches the game, and that's how you get better. So there's a whole in SaaS, like there's a whole bunch of shit that you can listen to calls from people and whatnot. And it's like the playbook's already there for you. So you're absolutely right.
No, and it's really nice that you said that. It sounds cliche, but it's true, because I think actually, at least a lot from my audience too, they believe that when it comes to succeeding in any area or rising the ladder in any area, you have to do something ridiculously complicated. But the way you made it seem, it's like, no, you just kind of have to do the reps and look at guys who are better than you. Would you say something that also helped you out a lot was at least working up in sales? Was it like you did a lot of reps? You just did a lot of it and it allowed you to get better. Is that true?
That's absolutely true. The best people in my company were the ones, and I hate to say it because like I prefer a work-life balance. Maybe that's not as ambitious as you would like it to be, but there was a guy in one of my old companies who he's the essence of repetition, right? He's going to fall on his face 1,000,000 times really early and really fast. And most people aren't willing to do that because it's uncomfortable and you don't want to feel like you suck at something. I don't know if I can say suck on you.
No, you can say whatever, bro. You're fine. Don't worry.
But that's absolutely key, right? It's just like, it's not sexy. And I think maybe that's a lesson that, being from our generation, I might be a little older than you are. You look like a younger, more handsome and ambitious.
I'm 24 right now.
Yeah, I'm not even going to say because I'm much older. But that's the key. It's like, it's not as sexy. And I think when I was young, I was like, oh man, I should just get a fire job and I should just be good at it. But it's not really. You want to do the reps. You want to fall on your face. You want to like take your licks.
Yeah.
It's not sexy, but that's the best way to get better.
And like going through the actual pain and suffering is actually what taught you what it took to be good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like if you're in sales, for example, you want to your manager is going to be like, I'm cold calling you or you're cold calling me now. Go. Role play with me.
You going.
And that's super uncomfortable. You're like, I guess I should like Mr. And you want to like try to avoid that situation because you're nervous, your stomach gets the butterflies. But like, I mean, if you've ever played a sport, you talk about soccer at Sherwood.
Yeah.
If you've ever played a sport, you're nervous before every game. You need to be nervous to fuel your willingness to do something uncomfortable, which will make you better. There's no secret.
Yeah.
I wish there was, man. If you find it, let me know.
Yeah, I wish I knew it too. I'm just starting from the bottom here too. So the last question I want to ask you is because especially I know you want to get her home. I hope she's enjoying this, by the way.
Good sport.
Yeah, no, I love it. So would you say,
cool.
With software sales, would you say that this is something that you're passionate about when you've done it? You know, I know you talked about work-life balance, but would you say this is something you're passionate about or there's something else that you want more of? Because at least what I've noticed and something I've talked about with my audience a lot is the idea of having purpose or passion behind what you do, because then it feels less of the work-life balance kind of thing and more like life. Yeah. So can you just like let me know a little bit like that? Maybe you have a different thing that you're interested in or whatnot.
Man, if I said to you that I was like, I don't want to take this down a dark, sad route, so I won't.
They need to hear it.
I think that if there's something I've learned, that passion does ebb and flow, and it's important to be aware of that, because in software sales, I've definitely burnt out a couple times. Mm-hmm. Like, so you peak and valley a little bit because you want to have a good why. Again, that sounds cliche, but you definitely want to have a good why. I feel like I didn't have that a lot of times in software sales. So the money and like the thrill of the deal was getting me going.
Okay.
And it's hard to get out of bed sometimes when you're like, fuck, man. Oh, sorry.
No, you can say that. Don't worry.
When you're like, fuck, man, I have to get up and kind of be this character again, even though I'm not feeling it today. Mm-hmm. That's part of it. I think, I don't know a homie from Diary of a CEO, but he would probably tell you got to have some grit, which is like you do shit when you don't want to. Now, if you're feeling totally burnt out, find something else that's better. But I wouldn't say software sales is my passion. So be careful with the companies you choose to work for. Like, you are a better qualified rep or person in any job when you go into the interview and you're like, yo, this is what I know about your company and this is what I've heard. Here's what I've compared you to. Yeah. You tell me why I should work here because I've heard there's better places there, or like this is, you're less aligned with my mission as a person.
Especially if like it's a purpose thing for you. It's like, bro, I don't want to just be anywhere.
Yeah, if you want to make a ton of money somewhere and you're like, cool, grinding your fucking face off, then like, cool, you can do that a ton of places. But if you're trying to maybe manage your passion, then it might be better to be interviewing your interviewer more than just being like, oh, I hope I get this job. Because I know I was like that for a long time. I was like, fuck, just hire me, please. Yeah. And that doesn't always work out in terms of passion.
Awesome. So,
you know what I'm saying?
No, that was literally so awesome to hear, because at least what I've noticed is like, as I was just saying, is like not having that kind of purpose or passion behind what you're doing tends to cause issues. And it's like something that like you eventually have to confront. As you said, like you could just work your face off all day and make a ton of money, but eventually you'll realize like, I fucking hate this company and the people who are here and shit like that. And long term, especially when it comes to consistency and suffering, I feel like if you can stick to something for long enough, like you'll eventually get insanely good at it. And I feel like if there's no love there with it, then it's like you can work your face off, make a bunch of money, but it's not really what you want to do long term. So,
and it's hard to learn that way too. Like when you're passionate about something, obviously you're going to want to learn. Exactly. It's going to excite you to learn more things. Yes. It's funny that we're not that you're not interviewing my lady right now, because she could tell. That's why I was smiling off camera. I was like, man, you could. You too after, by the way. You could totally see she's been through all the times of. Yeah. I love this job, and also I fucking hate this job. Mm-hmm. So another piece of advice would be get yourself somebody who you can just be an absolute, like you can go out and celebrate the fruits of your labor, but also when you have absolutely a mattress on the floor and a trash bag full of clothes in your closet, because that makes it a lot easier.
No, yeah. That's super awesome to hear, man. So I really want to appreciate you for sitting down here. This was so great. I liked how you actually went a lot deeper into it as well, especially when it comes to like purpose, especially because yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
this is cool. What you guys are doing here.
yeah. Thank you so much, Adam. Right?
Adam, indeed.
Yep.
Ollie,
Ollie, yes. So
I'm in sales, I never forget a name.
yeah. All right. Thank you so much, boss. Have a good
I
one,
hope
man.
you guys get a lot of folks who pop in.
Nah, yeah, man. I'm yelling at everybody, bro. I'm like, my aura is all over this street now.
Yeah.
I feel like so. Thank you so much.
I wish that. By the way, speaking of aura, I wish that. Who's that kid on the front of the boat?
I've seen that. That TikTok.
I wish that was still hip. It's like it came and went so fast.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is what it is. That's how trends are. Thank you so much.
Me,
yeah, no, of course.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. Thank you so much. Put people on too. Yeah. Oh, you want to sit down? You thinking about it? You considering it? Nice and fast. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. There you go.
No, thank you.
Okay.
What is this? What are we doing?
So this is for young ambitious men. So it's just a men's development and information channel. You know, obviously guys want to hear from ladies too.
Okay.
So that's why I have you sitting here. Okay. So what is your name?
Gracie.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Gracie. I am Ollie.
Ollie?
Yeah. Yeah. So what are you guys doing in DC? Are you guys partying? Are you just chilling? Do you live here? Like what's going on?
I just moved here like 4 days ago.
Okay. So what made you decide to move to DC? Is it for work?
Kind of. It's a career move, yeah.
Okay.
Work in school.
Okay. So what is the career that actually you're pursuing right now? Sorry.
I just graduated from law school and took the bar like a few weeks ago.
Okay. So you want to be a lawyer. Congrats, by the way.
Yeah, I want to. Thank you, but I don't know. We'll see. Pending.
Yeah. Okay. So what move did you decide to make? Because you decided to move here to DC.
Yeah.
So is there like a law firm here that you're trying to join?
Yeah, so I'm working remotely for a firm where I went to law school, but then I'm doing like a specialization at American University so I can kind of specialize in a certain area of the law.
Okay. So just starting out now and deciding to make this career move, have you already just gotten experience in the courtroom, for example, or is this like you're just starting out like now, like fresh? You haven't even like got into it yet.
No, just start out fresh. I think like we do a lot of practical experiences and pretend things in law school, but it's hard to get actual experience until you're actually a lawyer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just been like a whole lot of reading and studying.
Yes, a whole lot of reading,
Mm-hmm.
a whole lot of BS, if you want my
Okay.
opinion.
Yeah. So would you actually say that you would have liked more to get like more direct experience rather than just kind of having where you're studying a lot, but you haven't really gotten the feel of like actually being in a courtroom?
Yeah, there are plenty of opportunities to do that in law school, but it's not enough. I feel like the law is like really, really behind in that regard. It's a lot of books and old law and not enough practical experience, but hopefully that'll change in the future.
So from the few experiences that you were able to get in law school, how would you compare that to like just sitting and studying?
Ooh, it's completely different. I mean, it's completely different. I will say the good thing that the books give you is it really increases your critical thinking and makes you think quicker on your feet, which is good for practical experience. But you cannot learn how to practice until you practice for sure. So.
Yeah. Because like at least something that I've talked a lot about with my audience is the idea of actually getting like real experience. Because like you can't really develop real skills unless you get real experience, which is why I was like kind of asking you that line of question of like, do you feel like it would have been better for you to like get in the courtroom actually more rather than a lot of reading and studying? I know you did just say that's like, okay, you were able to get better at critical thinking, but it's like at least thinking on your feet, you would have loved to like do that, actually getting real experience in the courtroom. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think, a lot of a question you get when you're in law school is, okay, well, what law are you studying? It's like you all study kind of the same stuff. You can specialize your third year, do a concentration, but it sounds crazy, and it is crazy, right?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like that. So until you get into your career, probably 7 to 9 years, you really don't know what you're doing. Everyone's kind of just pretending they know what they're doing. Nobody actually does. If they tell you any different, you should run for the hills.
Yeah.
Until about 9 years of working, then you can probably confidently answer a question.
Yeah. So what was one of the biggest things that at least you would have learned about, I guess, the law system or the courtroom in general that you would assume that a lot of like people out here actually don't know? Because I think it'd just be important to know.
Yeah, I think a big thing to understand is the difference between a lawyer and a non-lawyer is just simply access to information. It's just gatekept from the masses. And yeah, I think, once we understand that barrier, we can actually move forward as a society.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for that. And one side thing I wanted to ask, because I want to ask about dating a lot, because a lot of guys want to understand women. So of course I have to ask you. I got no choice.
Okay.
Of course. Okay. So what are we in right now? We're on like, oh, men are great, men are horrible. Like I want you to be very raw and honest because it's important for like guys to understand.
Yeah.
And of course I can defend the men camp here too as well. But go ahead.
So I am a lesbian. So I do date women. So I guess we could both ask some questions and need questions answered.
Okay.
There's women are still an anomaly to me to
Oh
this
wow!
day.
Ooh, okay. This is actually so good. Okay, so have you dated men in the past, or have you just always dated girls? Been attracted?
Yeah, well, in high school, I think I kind of like I think I tried to date men, but I've always really liked women. Honestly, since 8th grade. Yeah, I was young, very
Okay.
young, and very blessed to be very young when I discovered that about my sexuality.
Okay. So you said like I'm still trying to understand women, and this is great to hear. Okay. So what would you say your experience has been like dating women? Because a lot of guys are like, we're saying like, oh, women are complicated, they're acting crazy, which might hold some credence if a woman is actually saying who has dated women, like, I think these guys aren't really lying about how like complicated it is. So can you like tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I hate gendering anything just about. I think that people are dynamic and complex, and I think women can be difficult. I think men can be difficult in different ways according to their socialization. I've had a great time personally. I've also had a very bad time sometimes, but I've had a good time. You just have to date the right person and not the right gender.
Okay. So what would say like the biggest issue you've ran through? We'll go also the good things of course too, but like what is the biggest issue that you feel like you've ran through with women that like you've like struggled with, or maybe like you've had trouble with partners in particular?
Mm, ignoring red flags in the beginning. So I recently just started trying to like really vet them out early on
Okay.
and dating slower for a long period of time.
Okay. What would you say one of these red flags were?
Oh my gosh, there are so many. Everybody needs to go to therapy. Go to therapy. Okay.
Everybody crazy.
Hey, if we sound bit anything from this fucking video, look at me, my eyes. Go to therapy.
Go to therapy, y'all. Maybe. Possibly. Anyway, go ahead.
The biggest red flag.
It doesn't have to be the biggest, but just something. I just want to, I gotta collect data here.
Okay, one. I think this goes for anyone. Yes.
Oh yeah, shout out, hell yeah, bro. All right, go ahead.
Decentering men. Yeah, I think all women need to decenter men. Doesn't matter who you date. I think it's very important to not judge your existence based upon any oppressor and their belief system about you.
So, like, would you say that? Well, I mean, was that a red flag for you when it came to dating? Like, what would you say the issue was with that? With like decentralizing men?
The issue with not decentering men.
Yeah. So, like, what would you say? Like, okay, you were dating a girl, and apparently, would it be that she was male centered? Is that what you're saying, or is it like, how would that affect your dating life, though?
Yeah, I think because gender roles would kind of intrude on my relationships, and I can take a more masculine dominant role, but I don't believe in like patriarchal gender roles, and I think they would intrude onto the relationship because people I was dating had decentered men. So that's kind of what I mean.
So, would you say that you were forced into playing a role, even though you didn't want to? You'd have rather not played a role.
Yeah, for sure. I think for me, like ideal masculine and ideal feminine are actually the same thing. Like they both come full circle. Like if we're talking masculine, feminine on a circle, they become the same thing as in like both the peak masculine and the peak feminine can always take control if they need to, but their primary goal is to let other people go before them. So I think it's the same side, or both sides of the same coin. So
Okay. So would you say then your biggest struggle really was actually that when you were in a relationship, at least a girl, right, that you'd be dating, she'd be like, well, I kind of want you to take a more dominant role or a more feminine role, correct?
Yeah.
And then that is what you had an issue with, and now it's caused a lot of problems. Is that correct?
yeah, correct. I think that two people should just care about each other and want to do for each other, and not because there's a certain role ascribed to it. And so whatever works for people works for people. And point blank, full stop there. I have plenty of friends who have different opinions than me about this. But for me personally, I don't want anything put onto me because of a more masculine or feminine archetype. But if it works for the dynamic, then it works, and you should own that shit.
So have you had a relationship where there really wasn't any masculine or feminine role? Because Alex, what I would say, so to defend the male camp here, is like it ends up becoming that. And I would say that the expectation is, or I'd want the expectation to be for a lot of my guys that I talk to be leaders in their relationship, to be dominant, to be assertive, to be able to like take care of their girl. I think that's very important. I think a big issue we're actually dealing with a lot now in society is that a lot of guys aren't really leaders. Wouldn't you like to be in like the kind of position where your guy comes in and he does everything for you, he takes care of you, and he offers just a lot of value to your life in terms of leadership, compared to like you have to come in and then your brain kind of has to be on in terms of shit, compared to like it just be easier if a guy is already coming in and playing a significant role. Like, how do you feel about that?
I think that anyone that comes into your life should add value to your life. I don't think it needs to be a man coming in and doing stereotypical male things to add value to your life.
Sure.
Again, whatever works for you works for you. I just think that when two people care about each other, they should want to make each other's lives easier. For example, if a woman makes a higher salary, they want to work, and that works the dynamic. A man should not have face any sort of societal disrespect or disregard because he stays at home, as long as he's doing the homework that a woman would do if she stayed home as well. There's no problem with that. So that's just my belief system, and I understand that people have valid and different belief systems.
Of course,
that's what
they want to sit and talk. I wanted to hear it.
Yeah.
No, that was super awesome. I really appreciate you for coming and sitting down and explaining that, because I think it's like hard, especially if like you have different belief systems. At least we've established a little bit here. Like I kind of like, no, I think the roles play a good. It's good, especially for a lot of my guys. I want them to be able to actually play a role. So it's like there's not a lot of issues and or confusion, because I would feel like, at least in your situation, because you don't kind of want there to be a role, what ends up happening is like when you're dating girls, they're like kind of confused dealing with you, because they're like, well, is she going to be the dominant one? Am I going to be the feminine one? And it just, that question ultimately comes up. But I would love to still see if you can find a situation where it works for you, where there is no roles. That'll obviously be awesome. So yeah. No, I think this was really great. I really appreciate you choosing to sit down. Yeah. What was your name again?
Gracie.
Grace. Yeah. Nice to meet you, Gracie. Thank you so much. Have a good one. You guys have a good one, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah. And if one of you guys want to sit down too, I can talk to you guys too. For young, ambitious men. So it's just a men's development and information channel. I just literally had a great conversation with her, so it was great. Yeah. Ooh, my table is falling. I don't know what's going on.
Watch my scooter, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your name, man?
I'm Riley.
Okay, nice to meet you, Riley.
To meet you.
Yeah. So are you good? Are you just in DC too? Do you just live in DC? Or these are homies?
Baltimore. My girlfriend lives in DC.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And I visit all the time. I was moving my sister in. That was my sister.
Okay.
Gracie.
Okay. So
we look really alike. I'm sure you could tell. But.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Kind of. I need to actually
more when we were younger, but yeah, that's my sister. Yeah,
okay.
A little bit.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so like you live in Baltimore, but you just came down here. Okay, you're visiting. Okay, so do you work in Baltimore currently?
Yeah, I work at Hopkins.
Okay. Oh, you work at John Hopkins.
Yeah, I work at John Hopkins. Yeah.
Okay, so what is your role that you're like? What is your job at John Hopkins?
I'm a neuroscience researcher. I work for a HIV lab. Well, more like an infectious disease lab.
Yes.
It's called the Brain Health Program.
Okay.
And essentially, we are looking at like folks with HIV or COVID or Lyme's disease, things like that. How that affects brain health long term.
Okay. So, what made you decide to get into that, or like, what was your career path? Did you study at Hopkins before you got into this, or like, what led you into this? Because like, no, that's super interesting to hear, and I want to make sure for guys out there that want to do something like that, I want them to hear about it a little bit.
Sure. So I started researching in undergrad, and I was working in a rat lab, and then I didn't like.
Here.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They're all they're all squirming, and I'm like, whatever. I used to handle them.
Yeah.
But I didn't really like that. I liked the sciencey side of it, like the more like answering questions.
Sure.
And we were doing work with ADHD.
Okay.
So that was really cool. But I didn't like the animals. But I like the research, like I said. So I swapped to human research.
Gotcha.
And I went to Hopkins after my undergrad. Mm-hmm. And then now I want to go to med school next year. Okay.
So from here, what would you say that your ideal career path is? I mean, at least because what was good here was that you found out, like, you know what, I kind of like the research here, because at least for a lot of my guys that I talk to, I like always tell them, I'm like, hey, you might not instantly know what you're doing, but the only way to know what you like doing is by doing things. So at least you found out research. Okay, you went to John Hopkins. You're like, okay, now I want to go to med school. So what is the ideal career that you actually want to have now?
Yeah, so actually it's funny. I kind of went full circle. When I was in high school, I wanted to be a doctor. Everyone wants to be a doctor when they're in high school.
I did too. I swear.
Canon event. Yeah. I took a psych class. I fell in love with psych. And then I wanted to do a PhD in clinical psych. But like just like the current political climate and stuff, PhDs aren't a great idea because it's not like secured funding. Sure. So then I went to work in this lab, and then I just really enjoyed the patient interaction. But yeah, you were like right on the hammer on the nail. My mom always told me like the best way to figure out if you want to do something is to go do it. And so I started researching because I liked answering like complex questions.
Yes.
And then I kind of realized that the kind of research I was doing wasn't fulfilling for me, but like I still finished it out. It's important to finish out and like finish out strong and do your job that you're supposed to do. And then I just, went from there. So
So then, ideally, where would you want to end up?
I want to be a psychiatrist. So
So
I'll work another year at Hopkins, and then I'll apply for med school, and then I'll go to med school, and then hopefully be a psychiatrist. So.
and is there any like specialization with psychiatry that you would like to do, or is this like just
Yeah.
like generally speaking?
I want to do substance use, mood disorders. So like the mood disorder is a little basic, but right now in our lab, I'm working on a study on cocaine addiction. And it's pretty bad in our country. And it's one of those drugs. It's like a cocktail drug. So it's not like an overwhelming high. It's like a party high, you know, like fun high. So people don't think it's that bad for them in turn, but it's actually very bad for them. Yeah. So I really want to get to the bottom of addiction. And I think that it's like the number one public health issue we're facing. Like how normalized addiction is and substances in general. Certain substances too. Like we're about to go to the bar. You know, I'm going to be drinking. I don't have a problem with drinking. Like I can drink casually, but a lot of people don't. And I'm just really interested in that. So
That's honestly super awesome too. I mean, at least for my audience, I always just say, hey, when it comes to any drugs or substances, you really just don't want to do it. I'm not saying that you can never ever do it. I would ideally want you to just never do it because of the potential of addiction. Because at least what I've seen, because I've also had an uncle that struggled with addiction in terms of alcohol and like cigarettes. So I've just seen like really the horrible ends of it. And I'm like, well, you'd want to put yourself in a position where you don't even ever really start. You know, so that's always something I'm going to recommend to them and all. But
I have 2 cents on that. Just working with a lot of folks that are addicts.
Sure.
I always tell people. So our generation, this is a fun research fact. Our generation is one of the first generations to like consume substances less than the subsequent generation.
We were stopping the cigarettes. Yeah. It was lit.
We were stopping. So cigarettes is one of them, but actually alcohol is a big one. We actually drink less than other generations do. And the reason for that is because our parents were alcoholics. We had an uncle that was an alcoholic. We had an aunt that was an alcoholic. Yeah. And like the number one piece of advice I give people is that if you are aware of that tendency in your family and in your blood, you're probably safe. It's just good to be mindful about it. But I always tell people, I have like friends that are like, I don't want to drink. My uncle was an alcoholic. And I'm like, it's okay. Like it's great to not drink because alcohol is very bad. I mean, it's poison. Mm-hmm. But if you're aware that there's a chance you could be addicted and you're weary, like, don't be so scared that you're going to get like addicted to everything. Like that awareness is key.
No, of course. And I think it'd be important to understand, like, it's not that like, oh, you are automatically going to get addicted. It's more like understand that this is an addictive thing. So like, if you're going to do it, there's always that risk. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay. Yeah. And like, I would never recommend people to do substances. Like, I think it's like cost benefit, like weed, for example. Like, I think that like wake and baking is bad, but I think that like, it can be really good if you have like really bad mental health and it's helping you a little bit. Like it's all cost benefit, right? You don't want to go for, you don't want to go to like any scientific question with the approach of like good or bad. It's really like, and in medicine especially, cost benefit. It's like,
right? And even finally there too, I'd actually ask, because like weed is like the biggest one. I feel like when it comes to alcohol and any other harder drugs, it's always like, okay, this is obviously bad. But I've had situations where guys are like, oh, weed's not that bad. I still am productive. Can you like tell me a little bit about is weed really very addictive, or is it like it kind of depends? Or obviously I know there's maybe not a yes or no answer here, but like in terms of what you've seen with research,
it's a complex question. I like, as a scientist, I would say like I'm not super comfortable giving like a super concrete answer or advice, but I will say this: a lot of the folks that I work with, like heroin, meth, cocaine, even alcohol, a lot. And it's much better for you to smoke weed than to do those things. And a lot of them have prescriptions for marijuana. And I like highly recommend that. If you find yourself, like I said, cost benefit, if you find yourself with some really unhealthy lifestyle tendencies and you feel as if marijuana is combating those, marijuana is not good for you to consume. Like mean, anything that's like throwing off your body's homeostasis, like up for speculation, is probably not great for you. But if you're going to go do meth, if you don't go smoke marijuana, go smoke your weed. Yes. Like, you know what I'm saying? So just take like your substance approach with that. It's like, if I have really bad anxiety and I'm having a really hard night, like go roll a joint, dude. Like it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I will say with like weed is that it's less like addictive and it's more dependent.
Sure.
So there's a difference.
Oh yeah.
But dependency is like,
it's something you're using as like, oh, well, this situation is kind of going on, and then I'm deciding to use it. Is that what you mean?
It's a really complex comparison, but addiction is like a stronger sense. Like addiction is like you have a physical, a mental, sort of like an instinctual craving. A dependency is like maybe it's more routine. Maybe you catch yourself doing it like out of habit, but it's not like this like super compelling thing for you to do. And then also like dependency is usually used to describe things that are like less addictive.
Gotcha.
So like I have a dependency on sugar. Like that's actually my big addiction early on in life was sugar. That's my vice for sure, is like sugary foods. So like I had a sugary dependency, but like I wasn't like addicted to sugar, because addiction is more like it's causing really big problems in my life. Like me eating like Oreos every night wasn't like a huge problem.
No, it makes sense. That was so awesome to hear, man. Like, because I feel like addiction is something that is not really talked about a lot, and like a lot of people actually deal with it. Like, and that's why it's just so awesome to like come out here and talk to people, because I would have never been able to talk to someone who's literally studying it and wants to see this kind of stuff through, because it is kind of a very difficult situation for a lot of guys.
It is difficult.
Yeah,
it
so
sucks, man. It's like you got this, you got a corner store down the block and alcohol you can buy right on it, and it's just like so accessible, and it just destroys your body, and it's just awful. But it is what it is. Like it's there, and we got to figure out how we can help the public be more informed about what they should and shouldn't do. So.
Thank you so much for that, man. What was your name again?
Riley.
Riley,
yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Nice
that was
to meet
awesome, bro. Yeah.
Of course.
I'm Ollie, by the way. Want to
Nice
say
to
again.
meet you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. What do you guys want to sit down to? Thinking maybe out there. Why not? There you go. There you go. Hello. What is your name?
Monica.
Monica?
Sorry.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Gotta be a gentleman here. Come on now. Okay, Monica. So what are you doing out in DC?
So I'm currently walking around passing out flyers for my business.
Yes.
So I am a spiritual advisor, or the basic term of it, a psychic reader.
Okay. So how did you get into something like this? Because that was already a lot. I was not expecting that. So like, how did you decide to get into this, or being a psych reader? Or can you actually tell me a little bit about it, actually, because I would love to know more.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So this has been a whole family thing since forever. It's my grandmom has an office in town. It's my mom has an office in town. We've been doing this since years, and it's kind of just passed down. So I was like maybe 4 or 5 when I'm watching my mom do the same thing.
Yes.
And my daughter is doing the same now. She's with me as I'm doing readings.
Okay.
It's just something you kind of pick up on. And I fell in love with the fact of helping people with it.
Okay. So, wow, that's just like crazy. Like, you're just like, okay. So was it almost like being able to study it and then help people with it was like, okay, this is something I definitely want to do for the long term?
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's from watching my mom and my grandma do it and seeing how much they help people through any kind of situation they're going through. It was like, that's exactly what I want to do. I know that I don't have the capabilities of being a therapist, a doctor, things like that, but this is the way I can help.
And I think what's really awesome and kind of underrated is that you're like out here and you're hustling with it. Like, you're out here passing flyers. And I think, unfortunately, like, we're in a situation where actually a lot of men are not willing to hustle that hard. And I think that's obviously a really big issue. So I'd actually love to ask about, what have you been able to gain from being able to be out here and pass flyers, or what have you learned, at least from a business perspective, especially when it comes to, because like psych reading, it's interesting. It's not something that people are going to hear about a lot. So what have you learned from like being out here and passing flyers?
So you're definitely going to be denied a lot because it's definitely not a normal thing. It's not a normal business to be offering to people. It's more of just a weekend thing. Oh, let's pass time doing this. So that's why on the weekends I'm out here, and my sister is working with me. She's actually on the corner with the table and everything right now.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, no, okay. And I think it's just, and that's just so great to see that you're able to understand and like kind of see, like, especially when it comes to hustling or starting a business. Because like, I know you just kind of mentioned like, oh, I know I couldn't be a psychiatrist or a therapist or whatever, but it's like, you can still get it out of the mud. And I think at least being in the United States, like, you have that kind of opportunity where you can come out here and be able to sell your services to someone. And realistically, and I want to say, especially for a lot of you guys out there, like, if you have a service and or skill, all you need to do is be able to market it to someone. Like, you don't need a degree to do that. You don't need to go to school. You need to be able to print your cards out, literally come outside and be like, hey, can I just test this out on you? And I would actually love to ask, like, do you give like a kind of a free consultation immediately? Or like, what is something that you kind of do as like what I'll refer to as like a lead magnet to get people to want to like book a call with you or consultation or whatever you do in terms of giving the service?
So what we could do is run one free question is pretty much what we have for, oh, I'm not really sure if I want to do this.
So do you do that live?
Yeah. I mainly do in person. I'm not really a phone person. We could do phone readings, but I'm not really interested in it. But
It's like better if you're actually sitting with someone and asking.
exactly, because I could get a better read on your energies. I could see everything a bit more clear.
Sure.
It's a lot more useful. But so far tonight has been slow, but that's a part of the grind.
It's slow for me too.
It's a part of the grind. Not everyone's gonna say yes. You're gonna have a full weekend where nobody comes up to you, but that's fine because guess what? Next weekend you might have 15 people coming up to you.
Sure.
That the whole thing of it is not getting discouraged.
Yeah. Okay, so what is kind of like, or just pretty much last things I want to be asking you is like, what is your long-term mission or desire with this, or like, how would you want this to look in the future? Obviously, the future is untold. We're yet to see what's going to happen, of course, but like, what would you want this to look like in the future?
I would like to show people that it's not weird to be spiritual. It's not something that should be frowned upon. But you also can't completely depend on, hey, my horoscope said this today. So now
I'm in that camp. I'm like, hey, bro, chill out. You need to do what you need to do. But yeah,
it's be open-minded, pretty much. It's not everything is going to stop you, and not everything is going to push you forward. Yeah. You have to make your own footprints. Yeah. In my readings, I tell people, this is a path that I see to you. But if you sit down and not go for it, it's not going to happen. Yeah. If I tell you you're going to win the lottery, but you don't go win that ticket, you're not going to get it.
So I think that's awesome because at the end of the day, regardless of what it is, whether you're spiritual or not spiritual, or you believe in this or believe in that, if you do want to achieve something or have certain things in your life, you're going to have to take action. Would you say that you agree with that?
Absolutely. That's why I'm out here. If you want something, you got to go get it.
Yeah. This was really awesome. I'm really happy to actually have that kind of conversation because I know a lot of people do like look down on spirituality and look into horoscopes, astrology, all those other kind of things. But it's still nice to see, even though you believe in those kind of things, you're still using the exact things. You're still doing the exact things that matter, which is coming out here and marketing your business so people can understand it. So I really love that. And I think this was an awesome conversation. Thank you so much. What was your name again?
Monica.
Nice to meet you, Monica. And good luck with this. This is great. Like, go harder than ever. I really appreciate that so much.
I'm gonna give you one. You come by some.
Hey, yeah, bro. I mean, maybe I don't know. I'll figure something out, bro. Read my horoscope.
I'm right over there. You
Okay.
can see my side from here.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Yep. Have a good one. Yeah. Get a very good one here. Okay. Yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. What is your name?
My name's Jennifer.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Jennifer.
Nice
to
to
meet you.
meet
Yeah.
you.
Okay. So, are you just out here with your family? Is this your daughter? Right?
That's my sister. That's my daughter and my BFF Susie.
Okay. So, what are you guys doing out in DC? Do you guys live in DC?
I don't. We're visiting right now. We're just visiting. Well, Ellie and I are visiting, and Susie lives here.
Okay. So, like, so you guys just here, like, just enjoying. Where do you normally live? Do you live in Maryland or somewhere further away?
New Jersey.
Oh, so you came all the way down from New Jersey for DC?
Yes, we did because we heard you were here.
Okay, you see what I'm saying, bro? I just attract everybody from all states and around, you know?
Yeah.
So, okay, do you have a family?
I do. Yes. Yes.
Do you have any children?
I have 3 children, and they are in their 20s.
Okay, awesome. Because like for this channel that I'm running right now, it's for young ambitious men. So like I actually wanted to talk to a few parents, and you're one of the first parents that like I'm going to sit and talk to because I want to like ask about how your experience has been like raising children. Because I think that like as young people, you know, we're like, oh, I don't care about what my parents have to say or whatever. But I think a lot of kids don't really get to understand the perspective of their parents when it comes to like raising them. Because obviously you already exist, so you get to see the world. Yeah. Are you a teacher too as well?
I am.
Okay. So what is something? Well, at least sticking to first, children. So what has been your experience like being a mother? Like what have you seen as the main trials and tribulations, at least for up and coming mothers, right? Like what has like you seen?
I really feel badly for parents these days with social media and stuff like that. I find that to be like a huge, just an obstacle for all kids, like the compare despair situation. And I worry about kids these days because they're getting phones younger and younger, and they're just like, all like, TikTok, and they're, just getting too sucked into the whole thing, and it makes me feel it's a hard thing for these parents. I feel badly for them.
Yeah, because it's like at least something I've heard. Maybe you've heard it before. They always say like it's that damn phone, And it's weird. Yeah, no, and I started to realize it actually is the phone. Because at least seeing social media and like phones, because we've obviously, I mean, I was at least born because I'm 24 right now. 24 right now. So I grew up in an era like right as social media was like becoming a thing. I was around 12 years old. So what would you say like the biggest difference that you have seen, at least in children, compared to like when they were growing up in a non-social media era compared to like now? Because I know you already kind of talked about like TikTok brain, like they're on their phones all the time. Like what have you seen as like been the biggest difference or issue like that has been caused by not having no social media?
Well, I don't know if this is the issue, if I would say this is the issue, but when I think more of my teaching career when, with younger kids,
Okay.
kids were bored, and when you're bored, you can become creative and you have to make the best of things. But now with phones, nobody's ever bored. And then I think that stunts creativity personally.
Wow. So have you seen that at least with some of the kids that you teach? Or what age range do you teach actually?
Fourth and fifth grade.
Okay. So have you been like seeing that maybe a lot more, or like how long actually have you been teaching? Did you teach before social media was kind of a thing, or it's like something? Okay. So what is is that the creativity difference that you've been seeing?
Or yes, or creativity and perseverance is an issue. I think that their kids don't persevere as much as they had. I don't know if that has to do with the phone or what, but I do believe phones give instant gratification,
Yes.
and so kids are used to having instant gratification. Like they're bored, they look at their phones, they can have something interesting to entertain them. Prior to the phones, kids they would have to be bored sometimes, and there wasn't instant gratification, so they could persevere. They would maybe try a problem, and then they might have to stick to itiveness. Like they would have to try to figure it out and problem solve, and that is and I've read a lot of information about this too. Like that is a problem now. Like the perseverance, stick to itiveness, that kind of thing.
It's like being able to see so much, especially like through your phone, or be able to do so much through your phone has caused like a problem for a lot of young people growing up, to the point where it's like you can't even stick to anything long enough. Like if you have to wait more than 30 minutes for something, it's like crazy. Like you can't like sit still.
Yeah.
Would
so
you?
It's like, I just give up.
Mm-hmm. Would you also see that? Would you also say that like young people are less like they're less social, like they go out a lot less? Because at least what I believe that I've noticed like with my audience is that like a lot of young guys are like chronically online. They develop a lot of opinions and ideas from what they hear online instead of like coming out here and like talking to people. Does that make sense?
100%. And I just was watching a podcast, but I just can't remember what it was. This scientist was saying, like, I wish 20-year-olds would like go out and drink with their buddies and like do stupid things, because that's how you learn. And nobody's doing that because they're home in their basements playing their video games, so they're not making mistakes out in the world.
Yes.
And you learn from your mistakes, and that is a problem. Like, what happens if you aren't out in the world and you don't make mistakes? Then what? How does that play out in the long run?
I know we kind of even went far away from like your kids and stuff, because like since you're a teacher, it actually helped a lot more because you're with kids all the time and you're kind of seeing. And how long have you taught fourth and fifth grade? Because I want to ask a really important question about this. Like, have you taught it for a while, or is it like other grade levels?
Yeah, so I've only done mostly fourth, but fourth and fifth, but always fourth. I started teaching in 1994. Then I took some years off when my own kids were younger.
Yes.
And then so now, so how many years is that now? It's, and I teach math, but
No, it happens.
but there have been like ins and outs,
Gotcha.
But many years.
Okay. Would you say that like with even the phone situation, have you seen that like kids are like less intelligent that they have been in prior years? Do you think like kids are becoming less smart? Because at least I've been seeing like in terms of like intelligence of like younger kids, like a lot of them are less intelligent than their predecessors in terms of schooling. I've at least seen that. So I'd want to actually get your opinion, because you're actually a teacher and you're teaching them.
I mean, I don't know if I could. I don't know, because all these kids are great kids. They are, and I love the kids that I teach every year. I love them. I adore these kids, but I do see more. I don't know if I would say it's intelligence. but maybe more problem solving. Like they are having a harder time problem solving, like I said, sticking to things.
Yeah.
And just like learning, like it's okay to make mistakes. Like, and that's part of life is making mistakes.
Yes.
But if you never learn to like tough it out with a difficult problem and you just don't have that grit, then that's where I see like a real difference.
Okay. So at least one of the last questions, because I don't want to keep you too long, of course. So at least when it comes to like raising your children, do you only have daughters? Do you have sons?
I have one son and two daughters.
Okay. So what are like some things that you have learned or the differences that you've seen in terms of of raising moms or son? Yeah, we'll be done in literally 2 seconds. Okay. So what like are the differences that you've seen when it comes to like raising your daughters compared to your sons?
My daughters are much more emotional. I don't get a lot of information from my son. I feel like I'm raising a Secret Service agent.
You are. I'm the son, so I understand it. Yeah.
And I know everything about what my daughters do. Sometimes I'm like, why would you tell your mother that? I would say that's the big difference. But at the end of the day, I think that what I have learned with my kids, and I don't know if this is really what you're asking, but I have found helping them find their passion and follow that passion instead of me telling them what to do. I have found now that they're like around your age, they are doing things that actually they all really love, and I'm proud of that as a parent. That they are now doing the things that they are passionate about, and then seem to be doing well with that.
Yeah. And I think that's so awesome to hear because I also do think, I mean, and this one's, I know I said final thing, but like you just say really awesome things. So it's like, what I've noticed is that, especially for a lot of young guys growing up, like they kind of have that issue where they half want to live up to the expectations of their parents, you know, instead of kind of do their own thing. So I think that's just really awesome to hear that you're like in that position where, hey, you know what? I want you to find something that you really enjoy doing, you're passionate about, and I want to be able to push you to do that. You know, because at least from the child perspective here, I want to give you is like, we're in that position where we want you, because you want us to be successful and we want to be successful too, but we might have different ways of going about that. So the issue just comes in where we're like, oh, we kind of want to, like, you might have expectations on us that you're like, oh, you should do this or do this. And we're kind of like, well, mom or dad, I kind of don't want to do this kind of thing. So I'm just happy to hear that you've been able to see the benefits of being like, you know, I actually want to see you guys do what you want to do and be there to support. And I believe that your kids more than likely have really appreciated that. So I just wanted to say, like, thank you for that and sharing your experience on that. Like, that was, thank you so much. And obviously I don't want to take up too much more of your time because this could be great. We could keep going, but you know, of course I want you to be able to enjoy your night. So I just want to thank you so much for choosing to sit down with me. This was great. This was awesome. I hope a lot of guys could see a deeper perspective because a lot of guys don't get to hear from parents. You know, I'm talking to young people a lot, but they don't get to hear from parents too. So
And
I
this
think
is just one parent. There are many different ways to
do things,
but this is, you know, what I have found to be helpful.
Yeah. Thank you so much
All right,
for this.
thank
What was
you
your name
so-
again?
Jennifer.
Nice to meet you, Jennifer.
Nice meeting you.
Yep.
Take care.
Yep. Good luck with everything.
Thank you very much.
Of
You
course.
too.
Yep. Have a good one. Okay. Make it happen, bro. You're not gonna. It's not gonna ruin the time on the bike. All right. I know. So all right. All good. You can leave right there. Let's make it happen. Oh yeah. You know. See, you understand what's going on. All right, man. What's your name, man?
Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley. Nice to meet you, Nick. I am Ali. All right. So I'm seeing that you're riding your bike around DC here. So do you live in DC?
I do not.
Okay. So you're just like visiting at the moment.
Just visiting.
Okay. So where do you live outside of DC?
I'm from Utah.
Oh, you're from Utah? What are you doing down here?
Working.
Oh, okay. So you work here. That's literally awesome because I was going directly towards that. So what work do you do in DC?
I'm a YouTuber.
Ah, you're a YouTuber. Hey, man. We making it happen out here. Okay. So what do you do on YouTube? Like, what's your content like?
Yeah, I show people all across the world, going to a world where there's problems in the world, political issues, places that are interesting for people to go see.
Okay.
Like, I just show people the world as it is. My whole thing is to show people the reality of world. My whole thing is to show people the reality of things as they really are.
Okay. So and how long have you been doing this? Did you just recently start, or this is something you've been doing for the long term?
Been doing YouTube since I was a sophomore in high school, and it just took off these past 2 years.
Okay. You can also shout out your YouTube, bro.
It's Nick Shirley.
Okay, Nick Shirley, search him up. So basically, you've just been traveling around the world and basically showing the reality of situations. And I think that's actually very important because at least what I teach a lot of my guys, because basically my channel is for young, ambitious men. So it's like a men's development and improvement channel. And so I want to make sure like guys can be able to accomplish their goals. And understanding a ton of different kinds of information or being able to see the truth of things is really important to doing so. So I think it's actually really good that you're able to go around the world and kind of show the true reality of situations, because you can only really understand if you really go and experience it. So with your travels, or what have you been able to learn traveling the world and kind of like showing the realities of certain situations on your YouTube?
The biggest takeaway that I've taken away from my channel is I've gone to 15 countries in the past 2 years, from Greenland all the way to Ukraine.
Wow, yeah.
All right, so we all bleed the same color blood, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of division in this world, but at the end of the day, there's more things that unite the world than divide the world. Mm-hmm. And there's more good people than there are bad people.
Yeah.
And everyone's a good person until you give them a reason to be a bad person, or to make you angry, right?
Okay.
But majority of people, and I believe that God created all of us to be good people. We have a purpose here on this earth, and so He wants us to fulfill that purpose.
Yeah.
And then once you get in line with the line that God wants you to go in, just keep going.
Yeah. So, and I guess what's been so awesome to even just hear is like, with you going to all these different situations, it's like you really started to realize like, okay, because you haven't really been somewhere. Because like, obviously, if I'm just someone who's lived here, because like I haven't been to like as many countries as you. I've only been to like, I've been out of the country one time, and I went to like Dominican Republic, so I haven't been around really anywhere. But like with you going out to all these different countries, you've been able to really like see that, like, you know, like there's actually a lot more similar things about us. And most people are not just out here trying to be evil. It's more someone has wronged them or done something bad to them to make them retaliate in a certain way. And then it is then shown, someone is then shown as an aggressor or acted as if, oh, they're just acting crazy for no reason, when the reality of the situation is they've wrong has been done to them. So even with what you do on your channel, I'll be able to check it out after this too. Like,
I get a lot of people angry on my channel as well.
Yeah, I bet.
Because I do political based content as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So a lot of people, for instance, I was just riding my bike and I was thinking about this. It's crazy to think that, for instance, I voted for Trump, right?
Yes.
It's crazy to think that sometimes there'll be people who vote for Trump who won't be friends with somebody who voted for Kamala, and somebody who voted for Kamala won't be friends with somebody who voted for Trump. That's like me saying, I won't be your friend because you're black.
Yes.
And it's completely crazy that we've gotten to a point where people will say, like, I won't be friends with you, or I'll stop talking with you because you voted for somebody else.
Yes.
But that's not the point of anything.
Yeah.
That's why it's a democracy here in the United States. That's why we all have the right to vote.
Yes.
And we all do need to become more unified.
Yeah. Because I'm also conservative too as well. So at least what I've seen, and I think what's kind of interesting, and I feel like people on the other aisle, at least liberals, is like they kind of have this idea, especially because you're conservative, correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like
it's like they feel like everyone's against them, but in reality, it's just like we all want the best for our country.
Yes.
And some people want the best for the country, and other people want the best for the world. And there's a difference.
Yeah.
If you're a president of your country, you want the best for your country. Your responsibility is not to take care of the entire world.
Yes.
But there's this idea that this country has been built on no borders, or that's been invaded, or that it's not our land, stuff like that. Yeah. And it's destroying the minds of individuals here in the United States.
And you would kind of say that, like, being able to communicate that in a way that you don't instantly get labeled is actually kind of very hard. It's like this kind of issue, like, you want to be able to, because at least when it comes to politics, obviously politics is always going to be divisive, fine, whatever. But it's like, I think it is kind of disingenuous, at least for guys that are young, especially conservatives. It's kind of hard because you kind of have to walk on eggshells, especially here in DC too. It's a very political area. Yes, like, you kind of have to walk on eggshells all the time with what you are choosing to say or talk about. And you've noticed that a lot of people even get mad at your channel just for you going out. And I would assume, obviously I'll be able to see myself, but I wouldn't assume, you don't even seem like you're a very divisive person. Obviously we're sitting here. Yeah. And I would assume so. So it's like, it kind of does kind of suck that the way politics kind of is, it's like people don't really want to have conversations. They just kind of want to be in their emotions or feelings rather than.
What's up, fam? So yeah, the audio actually ended up cutting out, bro. What the hell? So unfortunately, I wasn't actually able to get the rest of the conversation I just had with Nick. And I also had another great conversation with a guy who became a father at a really young age, literally became a father at 20. And we had a great conversation. And I believe we dragged a lot of valuable information out of it, but unfortunately the audio cut out. So I'll definitely make sure next podcast that I make sure to check the audio a lot more consistently to make sure, like, it never cuts out, so you guys don't miss out on any valuable conversation that I have that could potentially change your guys' perspective on something that could help you guys achieve your goals, or just give you broader awareness about the world so that you can do a better job of making better decisions to accomplish your goals. And of course, reach the peak of your masculinity. So otherwise, if you messed with the podcast, if you messed with the bid, let me know. Or if you're new here, like and subscribe because I want to grow the fam. I want more guys to see this type of content so they can get real value to apply it to their own lives, to be able to accomplish their goals. And I've been talking to everyone. I've been talking to moms. I've been talking to dads, young guys, young women. I'm talking to everybody. So if you guys even have any questions that you think would be valuable for me to be asking any of these types of people, just let me know down in the comments, because I want to ask more questions. I want to ask better questions. I want to become a better interviewer so I can drag more value out of these people so you guys can, of course, benefit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So with that being said, I should have another podcast coming up tomorrow, if not definitely next week. And of course, during the week, we'll be back to our normal, whiteboard videos and streams as well. So I can just keep cooking for you guys, keep doing what I need to do. So, you know what I'm saying, that we can all just fucking win, because that's what we're here to do, right? So yeah. So with that being said, I'll catch you boys in the next YouTube video. Deuces.